welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Relly. I am a queer disabled young adult author and freelance writer and editor sometimes. I'm not sure if you noticed, I have changed my name everywhere to Relly, though all my usernames are still Laurel. I'm trying to do like a slow transition process here on the interwebs just to make it less confusing for everyone. But I am going by Relly. My pronouns are they, them. Just a little update in case you don't follow me in other places where I posted all of those things. So let's get into the video. I'm filming this like 5 days later than I planned to, and that's for a number of reasons, one of which is I don't really know what I want to say. This is supposed to be my like project camp revision plans video, and then I was like, okay, it's actually going to be more like a writing and revision plans video for 2025 for the first quarter, the first half. I don't know, because I don't know what my plans are. I have rescheduled myself a couple of times in terms of project camp revisions and then taking on a new project and then deciding to go back to starting with project camp revisions and then a new project. And then I decided I was going to do project camp revisions in December, and I did like one day and then life happened. So I really have been back and forth half a dozen times at least, if not more, on what my writing life is going to look like in the next little bit. So as I talked about in some previous videos, I do have project camp revisions to do. Those are based on my revision notes from my manuscript evaluation from Katie Wismer that I got back in late summer, early autumn when we were just in the process of moving. So I haven't done anything about them yet. So I do have all those project camp revisions to make. A lot of them are minor-ish, but there is also a couple of more overarching, like major kind of revisions. So I don't really know how to plan how long it's going to take. In all my previous revisions of this novel, I've had a specific thing that I was working on, or I made the edit notes after reading through it myself, and I knew exactly what each edit note said and how long that would probably take me. So I'm kind of going into this blind in terms of time. I'm not sure if I touched on this in another video. I know I did hint that maybe there would be self-publication coming in my future, and I still am unsure if I'm going to try and query Project Camp again once I've done this overhaul, but I do think that for sure there is self-publication coming. So my other thought process in terms of do I start with revisions for Project Camp or do I start with a new project is timing. So Project Camp obviously takes place at a summer camp. Not all of it, but some of it. And it spans massive ranges in time, but it both starts and ends at a summer camp. So I feel like it's really a book that needs to be released in like a May, June kind of timing so that it's summer camp vibes, right? Like starting of the summer, you understand what I'm saying. So with that in mind, can I get revisions done, do a round of querying or not, depending on what I decide to do, book a cover designer, maybe book an editor depending on how I'm feeling after the revisions, get the book proofread, get it all together and get it released sometime in May. It's December 23rd, so I'm gonna guess no, especially because I don't know how far out cover designers book. I'm assuming it's a couple months. Editors are like 6 months to a year, depending on who you're using. So there's no reality, whether I'm querying and trying to get an agent and a publishing deal or whether I'm self-publishing, where I can release Project Camp this year at the right time. So once I realized that, I was like, okay, well maybe instead of doing project camp revisions right now, I should work on my new idea, get that done so that I can do a round of revisions, send it out to alphas or betas, depending on where it's at, get their feedback, do another round of revisions. In that time frame, I can be booking a cover designer, booking an editor, getting all these things ready, so that when my revision process is done, I can be sending it off, and then it'll be ready to release next year, question mark. And at the same time, I could then, once it's off with the editor, once the cover designer is doing their thing, I can be doing those project camp revisions, and maybe it also could be released next year. Or it could be released in May, June 2026, and then this new project I'm starting now could be released early 2027 or late 2026, you know, like, so I was like, okay, cool, like I'm on board with that plan. What am I gonna write? So I had this like crazy wave of inspiration come to me. I wish I could remember what the circumstances were. But I took a whole bunch of notes on my phone, and I even told my partner and was like, I just came up with the plan. I know what I'm writing next. Like I have this whole idea, everything's fleshed out. Like it's gonna be so great. It also needs to be released in the summer. So I've now gone from trying to solve my early summer release problem by writing a different book instead, to now having 2 early summer release problems, which means publishing nothing this year, which it was not my plan for 2025. Like I was really thinking that if querying didn't go my way, if I even do query, I may not even bother, that I would be releasing Project Camp in 2025. So now what do I do? I'm gonna not release anything for another year? Oh, that sounds exhausting. It sounds exhausting to still be calling myself an author and still not have anything published. And to me, that's not what an author is. An author is someone who's written a book. That's my definition of it. Whether it's been published or not, you still wrote the book, you're still an author. Whether it's been read by people or not, you still wrote the book, you're still an author. My manuscript has been read by my beta readers. It was not in tip-top shape at that point, but I wrote a book and they read it. So I do call myself an author despite not having anything published. I just feel like so many of us in this day and age are writers, and that's beautiful. People write blogs and scripts and these really elaborate social media posts and poetry and short fiction and magazine articles and all of these things, and I do a lot of those things as well. Those people are all writers. So many of us are all writers. Even if you just journal on a daily basis, you're a writer. You are doing the act of writing. So for me, the differentiation between a writer and an author is that you've written a book, a manuscript for someone to hold in their hands and read. So that's why I use that terminology, even though I haven't published anything. But I would like to be able to say I'm a young adult author with 1 book published or 2 books published, or, you know, you can find my books here. Like that is the goal. And to get through another entire year without being able to say that feels exhausting. That's what I mean when I say it's exhausting. Thinking about not publishing a book again this year. So now I'm here filming this video for you and I still don't have an answer. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Maybe I'm being too specific about the timeline. Could you comment down below and let me know, will you read a summer themed book outside of the summer? Would you prefer a summer themed book comes out in the summer or before the summer? How soon before the summer is too soon? Like I know in other climates, you have summer weather all year round sometimes. You don't have summer camp because your kids are still in school. So that's where it's hard. Like, this is like summer camp themed. It's not just summer weather themed. So even if I had it come out in like April, that's still really early for summer camp. I don't know. You let me know what you think. And then the new novel has like, they go to Pride, which is in June. So how soon before Pride can that book come out? Again, like maybe I could stretch it to April. Like for me, I read summer books all year round because it is so freaking cold and gray and disgusting here so much of the year that like I would never read summer books, you know, like I'd never get through them all if I only read summer books in the summer. It's hard. The other thought in all this planning is, what if I write one of my other plot ideas? Like, what if I run with a different plot bunny? Something that could be published in autumn, perhaps. I have one that could be, it's got like a spooky vibe. So it could be published in like September. But again, it won't be ready by this September. So then we're talking September 2026. So doesn't really help me, like unless I'm planning to publish something in May 2026 and September or October 2026, which then is really close together. I don't know, I need help. Self-publishing indie author friends, please comment down below, let me know. Am I totally overthinking this timeline thing? I don't even have any of these books ready, so like why am I even worrying about the publishing timeline? That's the other thought, right? Like maybe I should just sit down and write a friggin' book or revise the friggin' book and then worry about the publishing schedule. So I am giving myself until the end of this month to decide, because whatever I am doing, I am starting at January 1st. So I have, how many days is that? I don't know, like 8 or something, 8 days maybe, to figure this out. So please comment down below and let me know what you would do, how you would schedule this out, how you would plan your coming years writing and revising. And I totally understand some people can revise and edit and get a book out in like 3 months. That's just not me. I'm disabled. I hardly have any mental capacity, energy, brain function to be on the computer for more than like an hour a day. So the disabilities really play into it. I have 3 kids. They are homeschooled. So like, I may not have a traditional 9-to-5 job that I'm battling here, but like the list of excuses is pretty long. So I need to be thinking big picture. Things take months, if not years, not weeks to months, if you catch what I'm saying. Yeah, that's my video. Super rambly. I'm so sorry. I'm really trying to get back to writing content on this channel as opposed to all the other things that I've been doing, which have been more like reading focused and like a life update and whatever, right? So the writing content is coming, the revision content is coming, and I'm hoping at some point over the holidays that I'll be doing a live stream, maybe with someone else that you guys know and love from AuthorTube. I am just waiting to hear back from them. So those are the plans. Basically, there are no plans. I haven't figured anything out, but there will be writing and there will be revision, and I hope you'll stick around. If you made it to the end of this video, I super love you. You're the best. It was so rambly. I'm so sorry. Hopefully I can do a lot of trimming in the editing process. And I really look forward to seeing where all of this nonsense goes. I'll keep you updated. Have a happy holidays. Bye, friends.